Rob Bell Speaks.
Host to a great podcast, great show.
Let's get it. Bam. Sure, you know, drinking ain't for the 2 F's. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Somebody in trouble tonight.
2 F's.
2 F's.
It's just a little bit of. But thank you for coming by the Rob Bell Speaks podcast. Good to have you. I definitely want to get into the entrepreneurship side of you, but I want to start way back.
Okay.
To how you got into the music industry, because I think that is how I known you in the community. Everybody was saying how you was in the music industry, Grammy Award winner. So that's how you was presented when you first came to the Greensboro community. So let's go to that space.
That's the way to do it. I might throw that on mine.
Grammy.
But no, yeah. So let's
it's like, who is this kilo?
So real quick too, what we always like to do is everyone sees you now as the Grammy Award winning producer and everything. So, but it was like everything that led up to that whole story. That's what I would try to capture, because all that work you put in it, like, so everyone is seeing the results of all that work. So it's like, now let's really get into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, since I know we pressed for time,
this happened.
you need to show them, you know, I'm gonna chop it down.
It just means you got to come back. That's all.
So I think at 15 years old, listening to hip hop on the radio and saying, "Ooh, I want to do that," and start learning how to rap, then start battling people on the street.
Where you from?
Newark, New Jersey, Brick City.
Okay.
So I started battling, and a lot of the friends that I hung with, they was all street dudes. So they would bring me to different blocks and say, "Yo, man, he gonna rip y'all. Watch this." And I would battle their best in that area. And we did that all the time. And then it was, let me think. Then it was, we went to the movies. Me and my cousin Boone, we was going with my cousin Donna, and she was dating this big drug dealer. And we was like the young boys.
Right.
And the movie was like delayed. And outside, it was these 2 guys down the street with this radio. They're sitting on this big 2020 playing "Nobody Beats the Biz." Okay. So we go over there. Me and my cousin were like, "Yo, where y'all from? What y'all doing?" And we didn't exchange numbers. We didn't have cell phones back then. You know what I mean? So we met them, laughed. Make a long story short, I ran back into him downtown a couple days later, sitting there on his radio playing music. And he became my DJ. So he was DJ Cut Fresh. He became my best friend. We became blood brothers and all of that. So here we are in the hood, trying to be a little rap group together. And he was so young. He was actually one of the youngest DJs to DJ in this club called Club Sensations. Mm-hmm. And that's where we was too young to even get in.
Because you was 15, right?
Yeah, but this boy was running the whole DJ room by himself.
Okay.
So, make a long story short, his sister was dating 45 King, who was a big producer. He did the 900 number. And Cut had all his DJ equipment. 45 King used to come over, to see his sister. And he was like, "What y'all got?" And we used to play him demos and everything. We wound up signing to 45 King. And he did some demos for us. And while we were in the basement
at 14?
15.
I mean, 15?
Yeah, 15.
Okay, so your first deal was at 15.
Yeah, we was young.
Yeah.
And I did this song called "Addicted to Club," and they was trying to send it to Def Jam. And we were in the basement when somebody came and knocked on the window and asked 45 King to do a demo, 3 songs for $1,000, and it was actually Queen Latifah's demo.
Wow.
Yeah, we was in there with the whole beginning of Flavor Unit. Like, it's history, yeah. It was history. And after that, we had the demo. We didn't get a deal yet. Time went on, and my boys were just like, "Yo, y'all just dope. Like, what's going on?" So I wound up getting in trouble at 17 years old, locked up, and was facing 25 years. Because people, they put on the street that we were kingpin drug dealers at our young age, but we wasn't.
Yeah.
We was stick-up kids.
Okay.
We was the kids that it was like, you seen the car come down the street, they was like, yo, that's that car. And they back up.
Yeah.
So somebody decided, it's time to tell on these guys. You know what I mean? And I was in the prison only for 8 days because I didn't have $1,000 bail. But it was the best 8 days of my life because I was young, 17, skinny, small. And one of these guys, it was his mother's birthday or something. And I drew a card and he took it out to his mother and she loved the card. And he came back, he was like, man, my mother really loved that card, man. You got talent. And then another night we was all singing. I'm in there singing with all these big grown men about to go do 20 years. They was getting ready to do some hard time. And they was like, man, you got a voice, man. You could sing. Then another day I'm rapping. Now this is all in 8 days. I'm rapping. So these guys decided they wanted to have a sit down with me. So they came to me and they said, hey, young boy, go out there and chase your dreams. You got way too much talent to be in here. Do something different. You see, your boys ain't in here. They gone. They left you. Mm-hmm. And you can't even get $1,000 to get out, And when I came home, I changed my life. Lost my girlfriend, what I mean?
8 days.
Yeah, 8 days. I'm telling you. It was serious. It was serious. I stayed in the studio. I stayed writing. I moved in, because at that time, at 18, 19, we was just living with each other, friends, and whoever was doing what. You selling drugs? Oh, you making money? I'm staying at your house. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I wound up, stopped hanging, and I went to my aunt's house, and she had a basement. I lived in the basement where there was no heat, no air, nothing, laying on a mattress, and I was just writing songs. So one day, my man Latif, the same one that went to the movies with my cousin, he came in and brought me $1,100. And he said, man, go for it. Figure it out. Do something. And I called my boy over there like, yo, I got $1,100.
Right.
What you want to do? And we created these cassettes. We made these OCM t-shirts and we made these scarves. Now, because most of my friends were drug dealers, as soon as I handed one person a scarf, they see him with the scarf on. Everybody wanted to wear the scarf. So the scarves was so popular. By the time I met Lauren, she said, I thought you was a clothes designer.
Wow.
She said, I didn't know y'all was rappers. I saw the clothes everywhere. Yeah. So we were selling cassettes out the trunk, doing small shows. And then a friend of ours named Kevin Moore, he was working on this album for this guy named Papa Chuck out of Texas. Papa Chuck was kind of under the whole, it was a crew called The Org, and they was out of that. I don't know if y'all remember when that whole I forgot what was the name of that label that Jay Prince was running, where all Scarface and all of them was coming out of Texas. Well, Papa Chuck had got a deal at Pendulum Records, and he kind of sound more East Coast than Southern. Mm-hmm. So Kevin Moore was doing a track. He said, look, you want to come to the studio? And we was like, what you doing? He was like, I'm doing a track for this guy named Papa Chuck. He got a record deal. Just come over. Just meet him. So we went over there. He had his whole crew. They all deep in the studio. So they was like, Kilo rap. And they was like, well, you rap? And they was like, you got some bars?
Right. And at this point in time, you're solo. You're a solo artist.
I'm a solo artist. I always was a solo artist. I just had a DJ and then I was with a producer, but I was always just a rapper. Yeah. OCM was always just me as a rapper. Yeah. Yep. So went over there and they was like, you got some bars? And I was like, yeah. And they was like, get on this song. And I wrote my little bars, and it's actually on YouTube. And I wrote my bars, and when the song went back to the label, they were like, who's this? Now, out of all these guys that was on this song, they was like, who is this guy? And they wanted to sign us. So then another friend of ours wanted to take us to another label. So we had like a little bidding war, Pendulum against Quest Records, which was Quincy Jones' label. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We signed to Quincy Jones. Came out with a single, Watch How You Sling. We went on promo tour. Actually, one of our stops was Greensboro. So it's ironic to be in Greensboro. We actually came here as kids, performed. And then it was like, we had this single, Watch How You Sling. And on the other side of the single was a song called Mental. Mental was way street. But Watch How You Sling was street, but positive street. So all the DJs was like, yo, we like Mental. So we started arguing with the label. We needed Mental out, shoot a video for Mental. And it was like, by that time, Quincy Jones was kind of tapped out of hip hop. Because he had us, he had Saphir, he had Razkaz, and none of us blew up. Like, was a big thing. And we said we didn't blow up because we ain't had a street record. We need the street record out. And then he backed up. So he kind of folded his whole hip-hop department, and he focused on R&B, like Tevin Campbell, Tamia, and all of, he had those artists. Yeah. So we was out of a deal for a minute. I think it was like, we signed in 93. So we had a little break between 93 and then we did a Pepsi commercial with Shakim and Flavor Unit.
Okay.
They took this song that we had called I Don't Want It If It's That Easy, and it had a Tupac sample. So Pac loved it. He approved it and everything. But he was like, look, let's turn that to I Don't Want It If It Ain't Pepsi. So it was a Pepsi commercial. So we made $80,000.
Call for that.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, we was feeling good because even when we got the record deal, our advance was probably like, I think we had maybe 12,000 each for signing. You know what I mean?
Back then,
it was a lot of money. I had a condo. I had an $800 condo at 20. You know what I'm saying? So we was like balling for that age. But to get that Pepsi money was a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Because it was only a couple years later, and here we got 40-something thousand each in our pocket. And we like, man. So then we still had our own apartment. So I'm watching movies. And here's Lauren and sister acting. I'm like, oh man, she's pretty, she's fine, And then nothing happened until I see
talking about Lauren
Hill.
Okay,
yeah. So then I see my man Tame from the Artifacts Fuji video come out, and they all like this in a huddle.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's Tame.
Yeah.
Now it was another homeboy of ours had a liquor store. We would go there every other night and be just in there drunk, talking, when you young in the hood, you don't have nothing to do. But, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
it was like, in the daytime, you vampires. You sleep. You come out when the sun about to go down. You go get drinks. Then you at some club all night, whatever. But this particular night, he came in. And I was like, dang, yo, that girl, you got to hook me up with that girl. And he like, what are you talking about? I was like, that video you was in with the Fugees, that girl. He's like, oh, Lauren? And he wound up calling her right then and there. Yeah. And that's how I met Lauren. Talking to her on the phone, went out a couple times, went to eat. Matter of fact, if you see that magazine cover where it's like Lauren, Missy, it's like a bunch of female rappers on that one cover. I actually took her to New York to that photo shoot.
Oh, wow.
Oh, y'all was rocking. Y'all was hanging out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my people. Yep.
Yeah. And so in talking about Lauryn Hill, is that how that connection just brought you on to the Miseducation album?
Oh, absolutely, because we were friends and we would ride around and I wasn't even up on a lot of old records and she was.
Okay.
So she started singing this song in the car like, I'm getting ready to redo this. And I'm like, never heard of it. She was like, you never heard of this? I was like, nah. I said, but you sound good though. That's nice. That junk came out and blew up. Was that Killing Me Softly?
Oh,
Butterfly. Blew up.
Yeah.
Blew up.
Okay.
Then they went on tour. And when they was on tour, I was home, I'm doing my thing, chilling. And I hear Wendy Williams say something about Lauryn Hill's pregnant. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So I called her. I'm like, yo, you pregnant?
Right.
She was like, yeah, come see me. So I'm like, all right, boom. I go right to her house. She got the belly and everything, sitting in the kitchen. She's like, what's up? So she telling me, I want to do some work with you. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Okay.
Let's do it. And then she says, you know somebody who make beats? I was like, my boy Vader make beats. You know somebody play the keys? Yo, it's a dude named Ted. He at Vader house right now sleeping on the couch. She said, you know somebody
got all the pieces.
Yo, she said, you know if I play guitar? I said, Ted got a twin brother named Joe that's at the house. That's right now.
And Joe.
She was like, Kilo, you lying. I said, I'm about to go get them right now.
So, okay, real quick, to back up. So she said, let's do something together based off of what? She knew I did music and she heard the OCM album because we was riding around playing music all the time. Yeah. So she knew it wasn't just, y'all were just cool, but she knew what she was doing in the music.
Yeah. She knew how I rap. She knew the music. She knew all that stuff.
That's what's
and
up.
I knew the stuff they were doing. And we would ride around and just play music.
Man.
And be vibing. Yeah.
That feeling.
Yo, everybody the hood.
Yeah.
The hood knew Lauren from seeing me come through the hood with Lauren.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was like their
introduction.
Like they knew the Fugees when they seen it on TV. They seen the videos, but they met Lauren on the street from being in my car. You know, because we'd be in Chancellor Avenue, we'd be on Sly Street, like we was all over in the car. You know, I'm showing off, like,
of course.
Yeah. And we used to hit up, you know, I'm a breakfast head, so we used to hit up IHOP like crazy. Yeah, IHOP, they'll be coming like,
right.
Yeah, it was fun. We had fun, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I was yeah, go ahead. I was just thinking about that when you said that whole connection. So, but yeah, that's
what was that?
So because you done brung in the guitars, you know.
Oh yeah,
twin.
So
it's all together.
Absolutely. So I go and get them and I bring them over. So Veda's playing beats. Ted's playing the keys. Joe is playing guitar and they singing and everything. So she said, now we went in this room. She was like, y'all come in this room. It was dark too. It was dark. And it was like the sun was going down. This is weird thinking about it because the sun was going down. We all sitting in the room like in a huddle. She was like, yo, I want to work with y'all. We're going to do these 5 projects together, yo. And then we'll see what happens from there. So we all like, cool. You know what I mean? Like, we here. It's no promises, no nothing. So we like, just okay, what's the projects? Yeah. We like, what's the projects? So she's like, we're going to do Andrea Martin first. So we like, all right, I didn't know who Andrea Martin was. So find out she's a singer-songwriter and she did a lot of Angie Stone stuff. I knew after the fact, but we like, okay, let's do it. So they did beats and we got over there and she wrote some song. I don't know if she wrote it with her or I'm not sure because I didn't write on that. So then we was doing Aretha Franklin, Rose's Rose. So we doing that and we like, okay, we up in the attic, everybody contributing their pieces and saying stuff. Oh, you like this, like that, fix that. No, I don't like that. Change that. You know, everybody doing it.
I love it.
But we would always have input. She would have the ultimate say because she the boss. You know what I mean? So if somebody said something whack, no, we're not using that. But if somebody said something good, we're using that, you know? So then we went from, we was getting ready to do Whitney Houston. But Whitney was busy. And then we were going, because it was Whitney Houston. All right. We did Andrea Martin. We did Aretha Franklin, Roses Rose. We did CeCe Winans. There's a song called On That Day. We actually singing background in there, everything on the song. Like I'm in the gospel choir. Right? Then we was going to Whitney Houston. And then there was a group called Edith Wish, all-female rock band. So
Edith Wish?
Edith Wish.
Okay.
Yeah. So Whitney was busy. So we're like, okay, Whitney's busy. Now let's go to Edith Wish. So we're working on this song and we go in the studio and some Sony executives come in the studio to see what Lauren was working on. So they listening. So she just busts out. She's like, stop. This got to be on your album. Stop everything y'all doing. Y'all need to start working on your album right now. And that song was X Factor.
Man,
that was it.
That was it. That was a banger.
That was the joint. Hey. It started the album. Okay. So then Lauren was like, okay, all right, well, let's start planning what's next. And her next thing was she had baby from Rohan. So, hey, Ro, can we go and record in Jamaica at the Bob Marley studio?
What?
He's like, absolutely.
Damn.
And we went out there. We was out there for 17 days. So a lot of joints was created out there on Hope Road.
Y'all did the whole album in 17 days?
No, a lot of joints was started.
Okay.
Yeah, it was started there. Then we brought back to the attic back in South Orange, and we finished things there.
Wow.
How was that experience out there?
Oh man, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I had mixed feelings.
Really?
Yeah, man. It wasn't. I had when I got there. We like, we real Jersey boys. We hood boys. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going out there, and when you kind of like an underdog, you relate to the underdogs. So when we got there, we looking around. We go up to this big house. We like, oh wow, that's a big house. This is crazy. So I called my girlfriend at the time and was like, yo, send me a VHS camera because I'm probably never gonna come back to Jamaica. So just send me so I can start taping some stuff. So she sent it in the mail. So we out there, and I'm looking, and I'm like, yo. It's a lot of poverty out here. Yo, people was hurting.
Wow.
Hurting. You had balling and hurting.
No in between.
No in between. Right. And then we were at Bob Marley Studios. So that was just like a landmark where we just, every day we like, Bob Marley actually lived here, huh? Okay. And we asking stories. We drinking, everything got ginger in it. Every juice, ginger this, ginger that. And that's how I got up on ginger, because before I got there, I never had anything with ginger in it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why is everything got ginger? It's fruit juice. Got that tangy thing in my... I was real ignorant. I'm trying to tell you. I was learning so much.
Yeah, but you was young, too.
I was young, absolutely.
First time out the country.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So. And, Lauren was always a cultured type person.
Mm-hmm.
She went to school for history.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
she was deep anyway. So we out there, and we took some trip to Bob Marley's private beach. So we had to go through all these areas, and man, the poverty was like, I was like, woo, I wouldn't want to live here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then we snuck out to a club. She told us not to go nowhere. So we going to the club.
So easy boys.
We go to the club. So we go to the club, and we had a chaperone that took us there. You know what I mean? We went up in there. We were like, and I think they was playing Busta Rhymes. Huh? Yeah, it was about. Yeah. And they keep stopping the music. We was like, why they keep stopping the music? Because it'd be like boom, 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 boom. Then they go, and then all the music stops. Then somebody says something, and then they go. Then the music come back on, boom, the got the boom, boom. They go, and then it's like 5 minutes later. It was like, what the heck is going on? Well, we dealt with that a couple times, and then all of a sudden the lights come on. Now it ain't even nowhere near for the club to close. Yeah. So we're like, well, the lights come on. Man, all these doggone police come in there, and they different. They police is like military. They got these long guns, they got these vests on, and they coming in like serious. And they speaking. Yeah. We was like, kind of go right.
That's why she told y'all not to go nowhere. That's why she said don't go nowhere. Yeah,
it was so funny.
Yeah.
But what was so crazy was when the camera got there from Jersey, I was just taping goats. I'm just like, looking out the window, looking at the mountains. Every time we go to the studio, I'm out the window. This is a long hill, y'all. Look at this hill. And I'm like, I was taping almost anything. Mm-hmm. And then Lauren walks up to the camera. Kilo, record this idea. So I'm like, okay, go ahead.
Right.
And then next thing you know, Kilo, okay. Kilo, okay. Oh, Kilo.
You're the cameraman.
Next thing you know.
He's doing a documentary.
Next thing you know. I'm the owner of the making of the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill footage.
When did you realize what you had?
When the lawsuit started. Mm-hmm. When the lawsuit started, that's when it was a reality. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and it was crazy because there's a whole documentary coming out about this whole thing. So I can't give all the things, but I can tell you
whatever you can get.
But I can tell you that when the lawsuit came into play, they want everything. They want witnesses. They want any documents. But the key was the footage.
The footage.
And you had from the genesis, the very beginning, would just take this idea.
Everything that we claim was on the footage.
See that right?
Everything.
And
that was all just by coincidence. Like you wasn't even, like that wasn't in your mind. Like let me capture this in case because you all just had a verbal agreement.
That's right.
Y'all was sitting in the room.
Man, let me tell you something. I always tell people. I said we were family.
Okay.
So it was like if somebody would have came up to try to assassinate Lauren, they would have shot us first.
Okay.
We were family. We wasn't going to let you get to this woman. You know what I mean? Because we sat in too many circles, too many vibes. Yeah. We watched tears come out of our eye. We watched her feet a bit. Matter of fact, my first son was a month or two after Zion was born.
Wow.
So we both had our first kids at the same time. You know what I mean? So it was like the bond was way bigger than music. It was way bigger than money. We didn't
I like that.
When the whole thing even jumped off, we didn't know what was going on. We was like, what?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because you weren't looking at it from that angle.
Yeah, it was like, what do you mean? Like, you know, my boy just can't. I can tell you how that started. We come there, we was going there every day from like 10 in the morning to like sometimes 2 or 3 in the morning. Then go home, go to sleep, then come back the next day, do it all over again.
Yeah.
And this one day we came over there and they called Vader down in the basement. And it was like, oh, Lauren is taking credit for this album. Figure out how much money y'all want to get paid and come back and let us know. And we were like, what?
Right.
But I think that I think what happens is sometimes you forget who people are connected to. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like where, like if I meet you and you say, yeah, Marvin Gaye's my uncle. And I go, what? Oh man, that's crazy. Marvin Gaye, I love Marvin Gaye. Now let's say Marvin Gaye's alive. You get what I'm saying? So I say, oh, what up? So then at some point in time, I stop forgetting you're important. I stop forgetting you're connected.
Mm-hmm.
So then I say to myself, you know, I'm about to just treat him any kind of way. And I do that, and I just do it blatantly, like, boom. And then you go, wow, dang, you did that to me? You know, and then you go home all distraught, and your dad said, what's wrong? Man, these guys, blah, blah. Call your uncle.
Your uncle Marvin Gaye.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, when I get that phone call from Marvin, it's like, oh, snap, I forgot that was just, oh, man, I'm tripping. You know what I mean? Yeah. So because we were signed to Quincy Jones, we had friends in high places too. You know what I mean? One of the top lawyers in the game is Londell McMillan. People, and Londell represented some of everybody. Prince. He the one who broke Prince out that contract. He did the Def Jam.
Slave on his,
okay. He did the Def Jam deal for $100 million for Russell Simmons. He had Rough Riders. He had Lil' Kim. He represented Faith Evans, D'Angelo. He had Wesley Snipes. I mean, you name it, Jesse Jackson. Even the Jackson family. When that whole thing just happened when Michael Jackson passed, he was representing that whole thing. So big dog lawyer. But when we were recording our album, you know who was sitting there eating chips as a young attorney?
Yeah, your man.
Londell McMillan.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
So y'all had that relation. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right there. But so, just that beginning stage is because y'all built something with that.
Right.
All right, go ahead. Yeah. I love that. I love it for you.
So, you know, it was just, I think, you know, at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade it because it's a weird thing when a song come on and people be like, oh my God, that's my best album in the world. And I go, yeah.
It was a part of that.
You know, and I think about Lauren and us sitting there.
Yeah.
I go back. You know what I mean? When that song come on, I don't just sit there and go, oh yeah, this album is hot. I sit there and be like, I have flashbacks. It's like time warps.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're there writing.
I'm right there with Lauren, having a conversation.
With the beat. Yeah.
I got headphones on. Yeah. I mean, we literally, at one point, I went to the store. She told me to get all these old movies. And I was sitting there while Vader's over there on the beats. Ted is doing keys. And I'm sitting there watching movies, writing down the lingo that they're saying. And I remember saying, hey, Lauren, yo, look at this dance they doing. And it was in Cooley High. And they was like, and then, you know, when the lawsuit happened, if you watch the doo-wop video, they in the video are doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, wow, Lauren, I'm not even in the video.
Yeah.
Wow, Lauren, you know what I mean? I'm not at the video shoot. You know, I was supposed to be the hype man for Lauren's shows.
Oh, shit.
She always said that. She said, Kilo, when we go on tour, you right next to me. Because I was always hype. I was the amp person.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know your energy coming in.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I was always that guy. So when I watch the concert and I see this guy standing there, I'm like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of joy and pain all at the same time. All at the same time, yeah.
Because that's such a heater, like to this day, that album. Like it's you gotta be, like you said, like you hear it and you like, man, because it's not like it came and went. That's one of those that's gonna
Still
go
here.
right always. It's always gonna be that album where they're like, man, like, and she's still does concerts based off that album.
Right.
Because of how good it was.
Yeah.
And you know what's the sad part too? When she do a concert and she switch all the music up because she don't want to represent us. That's one of the reasons.
The lawsuit. Is it because of the lawsuit?
No, it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
She just don't.
That y'all.
I'm sure. You know,
how?
I mean, because people are people.
And people be
People be people.
So it changes the dynamic and the atmosphere and the environment, like all of that. I don't know the situation.
Right.
I just know in general, when money gets involved, there is a shift at times with some people. You know,
because everybody. If you have the album, you play the album over and over again. You love the album. You love the songs.
Every song was.
How disheartening is it to go to a concert and can't sing along?
Yeah.
You're like, why am I even here? You're not going to sing the song the way I know the song?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the breakdown. I know the breakdown. I know. And it's all over the place. It's like putting a jazz band on stage playing that album.
Yeah.
In a jazzy form.
Well, tell me this, but you still got awarded the Grammy for being a part of it.
Well, that was a fight for the Grammy.
Yeah,
it wasn't awarded. I didn't get to walk on stage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's always, you know, that I got to fight every night to prove my role.
I know. You're a shy guy. But I think that goes back to what you said, because now I truly feel what you're saying when you was like the joy and pain.
Right.
Like the joy of, like you said, that like I love how you keep going to that circle of you all, and like how you took her through, you know, the hood, and, you know, introduced, like people knew her from the Fugees, but now she's really interacting with people.
Right.
And now you building on that. Your kids are just a couple of months apart. Like, that is joy and pain.
Yeah.
That is
because it's like
pain.
I care about you, but I'm hurt at the same time.
Right.
And you got to do what's right for you and your family.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
So, you know, but you know what? When I look at rock and roll stories of the past, it's always joy and pain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know how everybody say, yo, I'm party like a rock star. I want to be a star. Well, I have to say to myself, I lived a Hollywood star lifestyle because it came with the deaths. It came with the people on the drugs. It came with the people trying to rip you off. It came with the, who are you? Why should we pay you this? All of the stories of people being taken advantage of, been there, done that. And then, and even the point where I have to grab somebody and be like, you playing with the wrong person. You know what I mean? Every side of it. So now you get to a person, you know, get to a place now where we are older. You know, I'm 51 now. You know what I mean? So now I'm like, I got 5 kids. It ain't the one no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now it's like, I'm a grown man sitting back in these stories for my kids and my grandkids. You know what I mean? And having a nonprofit to work with kids, it's just showing the love. And yo, I'm happy. I'm happy in life, but I needed to go through that stuff. You know what I mean? I needed to go through all. Yeah, I had to go through all that stuff.
What's the name of your nonprofit?
Save the Arts Foundation.
Save the Arts Foundation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How long has that been going?
Since 2004, actually.
Oh, wow.
It came to Greensboro in 2010. We re-registered it. But, you know, our motto.
Started in Jersey.
Yeah, I started in Jersey. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And our motto is capture the mind, save the body. So if you capture the minds of the youth, you'll save their body from the stuff going on to the youth. You know, keep them creative.
That's a good mission statement. I like that.
Yeah.
Capture the mind, save the body.
So yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this story to come out. People are going to go crazy.
Man.
I can't wait either.
Come out. That's when, okay, so you might end up coming back prior to that, but when that come out, we're going to have to get you back then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because then we can really dive into.
Oh yeah, it's going to be crazy.
But real quick, I wanted to, because of all of that happened, I wanted to bring it back to present day before we conclude everything, because I just know you as like the entrepreneur. You're always you have every skill known to men.
You know, real quick, I would say, who said that about Sandra? Said that about you. So like he does everything. It was like it was nothing. If you bring up something, like, oh yeah,
I can do that. Oh, you buying a fixer upper? I'll be there. Oh, you got an old school car? I'll be there.
Yeah.
Oh, you trying to get a car at a car auction?
I got you. You want to grow some plants?
Yes.
We gonna get that license.
So tell me how you've been in the music industry kind of transformed into, I'm gonna go after everything I want to do. I'm gonna pick up all these skills and trades.
Right.
How did you transform?
I'm gonna tell you, because when you are young and you're hungry for the music, you go after the music, you eat, sleep music. And if you do it for a certain period of time, that's all you really know.
Yeah.
So it was a time where, we all had money and we all lost money. But everybody don't look at themselves when they lose certain things a certain way. They just be like, oh, I lost money. Oh, yeah, the only reason I lost it because of that investment. No, you lost because you were ignorant about money.
And that's okay.
And now you need to get smart about money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that, for me, when I felt that way, I was like, man, I'm dumb. I need to learn some stuff. And I got on that train.
You was like, you looked at that and I was like, okay, this is where I need to improve, but you wanted to.
Yeah, because it started with money. I wanted to learn money. Okay. I learned stocks, mutual funds. I started learning all that stuff, how to invest and different businesses. And then it started rolling up. When I moved down south, I had less distractions.
Okay.
And I remember my partner said, man, he said, my son is 10 years old and I don't even know him because we be in the studio too much. Yeah. And he moved to Florida. So when he moved to Florida, I was like, I need to move somewhere too. And then my cousin told me, now this is funny because I'm a hustler. So I had this pocketbook ring going on from California. I was bringing California bags over here that wasn't being sold in New York. So I brought a lot of Herms, Ferragamo, and I'm talking about the bootleg ones, y'all.
Yeah, but still, the fact that
you can't come and see me now. It's a long time ago.
The bootleg.
But that mindset to be like, this is what they're selling over there. We ain't getting that here, right? But they will want it here. Okay, go ahead.
I'm up there and I'm selling these bags, the Hermes bag, the Ferragamo, Tides, Brighton bags, and all of the stuff that's not in New York already. New York already, they just had Gucci, Fendi, Louis. They was missing all of the bags that the Hollywood girls was wearing. Right. So I'm over here selling them. Boom, boom, boom. I'm selling wholesale. I'm selling retail. I'm just getting it. My cousin said, bring it to North Carolina. So I came down here with my pocketbook show. I rented the hotel, that conference room. Yeah. And that whole conference room was full of bags. And it was all these girls coming. And they was going crazy over them bags. And I met this one girl that was actually into real estate. So she was like, oh. So my cousin introduced me to her. Then I wind up buying some land from her that she didn't own.
Wait a minute.
You feel me? You feel me?
So a minute. But she had the deed, but the deed wasn't real?
False documents. The person did not sign that land over to her, nor was it for sale. But we got
it's actually a thing.
Yeah, I had to keep coming back to North Carolina, deal with that, and I wind up buying a townhome at an auction. And I made that townhome a rental, and I was coming back and forth dealing with the rentals. Then I said, you know what? Let's move down here. This is a 3-bedroom. And that thing was only like $500 in 2006. I said, I got a 3-bedroom townhouse, upstairs, downstairs, blah, blah, blah. You want to move down there? And Shonda was like, come on.
Yeah. Let's go.
And we moved out into our
That's how y'all got here.
That's how we got down here.
What year was that?
2006 we moved here.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I think it was around 2000, maybe 12 or 13, maybe 14, when I started hearing your name.
Oh, for real?
And I was like, who is this Rasheem? Because you was doing the premiere for Loving. Is it what?
Loves You?
Yeah.
Loves You or Twisted Love?
Loves You.
Okay.
Yeah.
Loves You, yeah.
That was my first. You was at Bennett College.
Yep. Me and Valerie and Tennille.
Taking it back.
Yeah. Taking it back.
Yeah. So you jumped into filmmaking, but did you taught yourself everything?
Filming was like, Filming was a funny thing to me. I was working with Denalja James.
Oh.
And she came to me. I did Save the Arts Awards.
Uh-huh.
The first award show to award painters, sculptors, architects, and photographers.
And High Point.
So I did it in Greensboro. The first one was in the Carolina Theater. So I'm the Grammys for visual artists.
Okay.
I created that. And then Denalja James was one of the poets on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So she came to me and said, hey, I'm thinking about doing an album. I'm like, yo. And she gave me her. Now, at first, I wasn't going to work with a poet because I never worked with a poet. So I was like, I don't know what to do with that. But if I approach it like an album, we put hooks on it and you do poetry in between, get a hot beat, maybe some singers on it. We wound up doing her album. Mm-hmm. So now we were getting ready to do our first video. We called this girl to do a video. I ain't gonna say her name. But we booked the places and 3 days prior, she canceled on us. Damn. So I was like, I told my partner, Valerie, because we need to get, what we gonna do? You know? And she was like, I don't know.
Spots.
I said, let's buy a camera. And I remember this guy named Odell from A&T that came over showing me his videos that he shot. And I was like, yo, these look good, bro. Man. So I called him and I said, hey, I got a camera. I need you to come help me shoot this video. And I said, then you help me, I'll help you, blah, blah, blah. He was like, all right, cool. He came over there. We shot the first video, which was Stilettos Rocking.
Stilettos
Rocking. That joint came out. We was like, oh.
Y'all performed that at, I think, one of Saeed's premieres.
Was it Bennett?
No, it was actually downtown Greensboro. I think it was like a lounge spot on Elm Street, and Denalja performed.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
She did those. She was doing a lot of shows. She was kicking it.
Yeah.
But it rolled into me doing one video. Next thing you know, I done did 13 music videos for other people. Okay. So now I'm learning the camera. I'm shooting videos.
That's how you got started.
That's how I got started. Yeah. From somebody canceling on us.
I did not know that. Yep. I did not know that.
I'll tell you. And then we did a documentary because, you know, she had a group called the Stiletto Ladies, all these different women. And I did a little small documentary and I said, I'm going to show it at the theater. And it was the Carousel at the time. Mm-hmm. It's red now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we sold out the theater.
Damn.
And I was standing up. I didn't even have a seat. I was standing up and I'm looking at the screen like, this feeling is awesome. So I got the bug. Yeah, I got the film bug. I was like, this is crazy. So this is what it feels like. You know, we made money that night. Mm-hmm. And on a big screen, I'm like,
the money be pretty good.
I want to do
pretty
this.
Good profit. Yeah.
I said, I want to do this. And then when I had a moment with myself and I said, now I want to make a story. I want to actually do a film. And I remember Morgan, because Morgan she created the Stilettos dance for Denalja.
Shout out to Morgan.
Yeah. So she created dance. So I knew she was a school teacher. Mm-hmm. So I said, look, I got this idea where I want to use school kids. It's called It Takes a Village. About 5 school kids. So she was like, all right, let's get together. And we shot that whole movie in 1 week in the school. Mm-hmm. And the principal let us shoot in there and everything.
And Morgan, she graduated from Ragsdale.
Did she?
Yeah. Okay. She was a year behind me.
Yeah. So, and that was the journey. And now I'm about 8 films in and 4 documentaries.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All by accident.
All by accident. Well, you know, God design.
Yeah.
You know
but
I
mean? you putting that energy out there and you're attracting it right back and you're paying attention.
Right.
Always, you know, we talk about it. You're not missing on opportunities that are, you know, emerging and making themselves visible to you. Like, oh, I remember my man that showed me his video and to connect with him. And then he's like, oh, yeah, let's work together. And like you said, look, let's make this a trade-off. I give you some, you give me some. We do this, you know, together. And now, look at you.
I love it.
And the only reason why the documentary came into play, because my boy Cut, before he died, he called me and he was like, Kilo, yo, I was thinking about something. I was like, what's up? He's like, yo, you got to tell a story. I was like, what you mean? You know, he's like, you put the whole thing together. You brought them cats over there, and you know, he talking, you know, he going in. Yeah. You brought them cats, and you know what I'm saying? You looked up. He's going in, and he's going boom, 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 and I'm like, yeah, and you know, in my mind, I'm like, bro, I'm chilling.
Yeah, but sometimes that's
I'm chilling. I'm doing other things. I'm shooting movies. I'm doing all that. And it wasn't until he had a heart attack.
Ah.
And when he died, I was like, huh, okay. And I was like, dang, he was 1 year older than me. I'm getting older. I'm like, I better tell this story now. You know what I mean? So I started calling a few people. I was like, look, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? You know? And my son, mother Vanita was like, you need to make it like this, a documentary and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, then Penny McDonald, who shot our first video, was like, talk about you. Talk about yourself, you know? So it was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, so let me put the story together where I'm telling my story running up into the Lauryn album and beyond.
I like that.
I like that.
So yeah. So it's not just her story.
Yeah.
She could tell her own story. I'm gonna tell mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you say when that's coming out?
Nah, I can't even tell you when to check. Listen, if you see a certain type of car pull up, you know I got to check.
No, that's right.
You know I got to check. The deal is done.
Yeah.
The deal is done.
The deal ain't even done yet. Yeah, it ain't done.
So, what is next for Rasheem?
What is next? Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm in the school of Country Wayne.
Oh, really?
I've been studying Country Wayne. I've been watching his interviews, and now I'm doing these comedy skits, social media, all the platforms, and I do them every day. I just started it at the beginning of January.
Yeah.
And I got
because that was his
like 400,000 or 500,000 views, and just within 28 days. And I was like, okay, and got some new subscribers. Yeah, so
I saw him talk about it. Like, it was like before people was really getting in on that, and people was like, what, you know, you gonna do this? And he like, yeah, because he already saw, he was like, I think one of his statements was like, you see people on their phone, on social media all the time. He was like, yo, I got to get in on that.
Yeah.
So,
and when I first started my YouTube page, was probably back in 2009, I overlooked myself. I gave other people platforms. We had all kinds of shows, esthetician doing stuff. You know, I gave my partner the Keisha talk show, and I'm sitting there just being the cameraman. I did the Veggie Fest.
Oh yeah.
I was doing all kinds of stuff, just putting all kinds of stuff on it. Then one day, when nobody was around, I said, man, I'm about to just talk my junk real quick. You know what I mean? I think I saw something, and you know how you see things online or something, and you start talking. And they'd be like, well, why don't you just record that? You know what I mean? And I did it. And I just got on it and I was like, what do you think when people do this? You know what I mean? And I was doing it so animated, people thought it was funny. But I was actually making a point.
Yeah.
And I was trying to make the ignorant look stupid and make them think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it turned out to
and
be
it
funny.
works.
So I said, I'm going to do it again. So and then I used my own family. I was talking about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is like this. And I started making all these funnies and it just rolled off. And
my favorite one is the one you're talking about your son wanting to be a drug dealer.
Oh,
that is my favorite one because it's a lesson in it. It's a lesson.
It's a lesson.
You broke it all the way down. Then at the end, he was like,
right.
Maybe I know.
Right. It was a lesson in it. And I think that's part of the how you teach. You know what I mean? Because if I was to go tell somebody, hey, don't sell drugs, yo, drugs is a bad thing. They look at me like, bruh,
you can make $1,000 money.
What are you talking about? Yeah. Exactly. But if I tell him, hey, that $1,000 is going to lead to this, and then that's going to lead to this, and then you're going to wind up here, guaranteed.
Because you got
it give them more to think about. So I thought those videos really break it down better.
Because I think that's the one Sandra sent me one. She be rapping you all the time. She sent me one of the funnies, and I think it was that one you was talking about. And then I didn't watch it today, but she posted one today.
Yep.
I didn't get a chance to watch it though, because it was right before I was getting here.
You know what I noticed? And this is like, I'm telling one of my secrets, but if I talk to you, right? And if I go, you know what, Tim? That moment right there, I'm going to lose you.
When you say, you know
when
what,
I
Tim?
go to think,
when
it gets quiet. So I took all the breaths out of my videos. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I go to talk, it'll be like, such and such and such and such this morning. What? Huh?
So that's why you ended it like that.
I don't give you a chance to turn away.
Yeah.
I want you to lock in. As soon as I'm going to come at you hype. Guess what?
Right.
And then you're like, what? In your mind, what is he about to say? And then it's, and then I'm done. Now you watch the whole video.
And it's perfect because the attention span now.
Right.
Shorter, yeah.
Right.
That's definitely.
And then say, like and subscribe.
Right. Exactly. But we got some successful people right here in this area that I follow and talk to. Like Ken Canyon, he told me that he took a class and the guy told him to post every day for 1 year and his life would change. And he followed that thing and it did.
Wow.
I mean, Ken got like 280,000 subscribers on Instagram. And he doing sessions for $300 to $500 talking about relationship stuff.
Yeah.
Then we got Karen Bonner in Winston-Salem, who got 280,000 TikTok followers. And she does health and wellness and healing, the spiritual healing, the herbs and all that stuff. And I'm just like, they right here.
Right.
I'm calling and talking to them and it's amazing, man. So I'm like, yeah.
So that's what's next. Well, you are in it. You're doing it.
If you can do it, I'm going to do it too.
Yeah, you're doing it.
I'm going to try it.
There you go.
So I'm dedicating 2024 to that.
Well, tell us where we can find you, follow you, subscribe to you, and all that good stuff.
It's real simple. Rasheem Kilo Pugh. Google that, you're going to find me. All the platforms.
It's all
That's it. You're going to find me.
Okay. And before we leave, I want to do an I am. So I'm going to say, I know.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to say I am, and then I'm going to give you, I'm going to describe what I am. So at this point, I'll go first since I bring it back up.
Right.
I got one. I am grateful that I am able to be amongst some great folks tonight. That's it.
And you don't say one, I am?
You can do as many as you we done had somebody go into doing poetry.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping it plain.
Word.
You want to go next? So we can have the guests go last?
Okay, we'll do that. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll say I am present in the moment and not walking around with my eyes wide shut. So I'm seeing it all, like even in this moment here and listening to Rasheed talk about all the things and the story. Like I said, we got to get you back to really get into all the other things that you're doing because we just kind of really just touched on the music part, but you're doing so much more. So, yeah.
Right.
I'm here now with everything and being present.
Wait, let's see if the engineer Kurt gone. Okay, he gave me the look. Are you gonna do it? No.
It's got they call me Black Jesus.
I got you. I see. I'll say I am a part of the big story.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that. The big story.
And I also would say I am hoping that I'm making my ancestors proud. That's a mission.
Yeah.
That is a mission.
You know what I'm saying? That's a mission.
I like it.
Yeah.
And that's all we got for you guys.
I'm a sit.
I know. I know mine is gone. But yes, cheers to that. Thank you guys to watching another episode of Broadbell Speaks. And you can follow us on all of the social
media platforms. Yep.
Yeah,
we don't even have to go into all that. But it's good. You got it. You got all social media platforms.
Yes.
Apple, Anchor, Google, all of them. So Spotify. All right.
So I can't say nothing about it anyway. I was gonna give a shout out, but
to what?
It's too new. It ain't out yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
You familiar with KJ and Sky? KJ is the lead actress on Sisters.
Oh.
And Sky is one of the lead actors on All the Queen's Men. He's you know, they got married.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Well, they just came out with a coffee brand with my cousin, Russell's Gourmet Coffee.
Really?
Yeah,
because you said he was at the wedding.
He went to the wedding. Yeah. So I did this. I got an actual video that's getting ready to come out. I can't drop it yet, but I recorded it, edited it. Oh, it's gonna be bomb.
Okay,
that's what's up.
And you know, they was like, "Hold it back." We're gonna drop the coffee. We're gonna drop the video.
Then drop the video.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, let's get it.
And what? It's coffee made from coffee beans, right?
No, it's grinded. Well, the pack I have, you can get it either or, raw beans, or you can get it grinded.
Okay.
But the packs I have is grinded, so I can just drink it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I ain't got no coffee grinder, but yeah, it's gonna be a pretty big deal. It's called Black because their last name is Black. KJ and Sky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his last name Black.
Good deal for them. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Real nice. I like that. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah, so good show. Now,